Wow. I didn't even have my mic on, obviously. I'm sorry about that over there on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. So you haven't heard anything that I just said. So you know what? I'm going to repeat myself. And what I said was, this video, this video is not sponsored by Toman or by Harley Benton. I bought this guitar because I've been wanting to buy it for quite a while, but like I don't know why I just didn't pull the trigger on it. Even though it's not sponsored by Harley Benton, etc., I'm just a fan. My main guitar that I usually use is this one right here. It's a Fusion 3, and it's also just beautiful. But this evening, I'm going to be unboxing a brand new Harley Benton TE90 QM in trans red. It's quilted maple, and as I said, I'm really excited about this one. Let's get right into opening this box. So, box number one. They really packed this very well. Is there even a guitar in here? Ah. We getting somewhere. Box number two. And as you might see here, it says B stock. And that's because I got a really good deal. Because for some reason it was returned. So hopefully it's not a major reason. And we're gonna put this guitar through the test, through the ringer. And I'm gonna find it if there is a mistake or something major. All right, y'all. So this guitar is actually very well packed. In this box here. Packed up in some plastic wrap. Oh, I'm so excited. See your headstock. Oh yeah. Now that is nice. Neck feels really, really smooth. All right, looks like we got dragon skin strings on it from DR. Doesn't say which gauge. Oh yeah, quality control by John. Big up to you, John. These are non-locking tuners. Maple neck. By the way, as I said before, this is the Harley Benton TE90 QM for quilted maple, because check out the quilting. It looks nice. It's not perfectly book matched, but I only paid 166 euro for this guitar. So let's see. It looks like it's already in tune. E. Tuning. Okay, so right out the box, it's almost in tune. It's got P90 pickups, and it just so happens that this is the first guitar that I've ever owned with P90 pickups. I've played quite a few and always wanted to have some of my own. So it has finally come to pass. Well, it looks beautiful. The neck feels beautiful. Wow. Okay, the frets, they don't snag at all. Even all the way up. Very, very nice fretwork. The action is a little high. Yeah. All right. Well, as I said, aesthetically, it looks wonderful. I don't have it under the bright light right now yet, but I don't see any kind of major flaws or damage in the finish. The string ferrules look good in the back. Oh, okay, there's a little bit of polish up in there. Okay. I see something on the back that looks like there was tape on there or something. It looks like it's in the clear coat. So, as I said, the action seems a little bit high, but there's a lot of leeway on the saddles here, so I'll adjust that also later. But the uh, the knobs, the knobs turn very nicely. They're kind of stiff. So for people that like where the knobs might turn too easily for their taste, like if you're playing and the knobs turn too easily if you rub up against them. But I use a lot of volume and tone adjustments while I'm playing. So I'm gonna see how this works out. They seem a little tight, but they're that, as I said, that could be a good thing depending on your taste in knobs. Three-way switch. All right, well, let's hook this thing up. I'm going to be running into my Fender Studio Pro. And hopefully it'll work. All right, well. I don't seem to be getting any guitar signal. That's not good. All right. Check, 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 check. Yep, I'm not getting any guitar signal. That's nice.
Yo, what up? It's your man LL Cool J, aka Tar Smith in the building, keeping it extra crispy right now. Crowd controls in full effect, you know what I'm saying? Stay your ass behind the ropes, you know what I'm saying? I got DJ Chemo, and it's all the way live. It's crazy, it's off the chain, it's off the hook, it's off the meat rack, it's off whatever you want it to be off. Live and direct. Crowd control, baby. One.
Okay, looks like I got a wireless problem. Well, looky there. How about we tune it up? The intonation is very good. A little off on the G and the D, and the A is way off. So right now I'm running through a twin reverb with reverb added to it. How about I turn that reverb off, that extra reverb? That was the bridge pickup. Here's the middle. And here's the neck. That's the middle again. Here's the bridge. Okay, so the volume control is kind of drastic. Yeah, I think the volume control is really drastic. Well, yes, I am indeed very impressed with this. The sound is kind of muddy. Let me add a little treble into the mix. All right, there we go. So I'm gonna see how this feels when it's strapped on. So that's the first thing I would switch out on this is the string trees and the tuners. So that's a clean sound. And it's really clean, so not sure how new these strings are. Should probably be stretching them out a little more. Because new strings have to be stretched out. Because otherwise your guitar will go out of tune anyway. And you'll be like, my guitar don't stay in tune. Did you stretch your strings? No. You see? I just stretch them by grabbing them between two fingers and just kind of literally stretch them. See? The string went down almost a half step just because of natural stretching. Always stretch new strings. So anyway, I haven't said this in quite a while. I am DJ Chemo, and this is a brand new Harley Benton TE90 QM in trans red. From the factory, or actually from the quality control, John, by the way. It came set up decently. It was almost in tune. And yeah, the neck is wonderful. It's really smooth. Stretching the strings, stretching the strings. So I will be setting up this guitar completely during this live stream, but I'm just doing some tests right now. These strings feel like tens. Dragon Skin Plus by DR. Okay. It stays in tune relatively good. close. So that was all bridge, full volume, clean, barely any reverb. I do have a compressor on, mild compressor. Here goes a tube screamer added to the mix. Was bridge. Here goes the neck pickup. Also full volume and tone all the way up. Well, that sounds very nice, if you ask me. Here goes the middle position. Okay. Yeah, the pickups are pretty high output, actually. Compared to the other guitar that I usually use, they seem like a little bit higher output, but have kind of a muddy low end, but a clearer high end to them. Okay. Okay, when the with a little more distortion or overdrive, the volume control is a little more reactive and isn't like as much of a on-off switch. But like volume swells starting from silence, they're not really gonna sneak up on you. So this is the Harley Benton TE90 QM in trans red. And I must say, up till now, I'm a fan. I'm gonna do a proper setup on this. And see how it goes from there. Quite a bit of sustain. The neck is very nice. should play a song with this, just to test it out properly. This one's called Fire on the Mountain. Long distance runs, what you standing there for? Get up, get out of the door. Playing cold music on the barroom floor. Drowned in your laughter, dead to the core. There's a dragon with magic, it's loose on the town. Takes a whole pail of water just to cool him down. Fire, fire on the mountain. 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 Almost ablaze, still you don't feel the heat. Takes all you got just to stay on the beat. You say it's a living, all gotta eat. You're here alone, there's no one to compete. Mercy's a business, I wish it for you. More than just ashes when your dreams come true. Fire, fire on the mountain. Fire, fire on the mountain. Fire, fire on the mountain. Fire, fire on the long distance running, what you holding out for? Caught in slow motion, in a dash for the door. Flame from your stage has now spread to the floor. You gave all you had, why you wanna give more? The more that you give, the more it will take. To the thin line beyond which you really can't fade. Fire, fire on the mountain. 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 So that was Fire on the Mountain, trying out this brand new Harley Benton TE 90 QM in trans red, and it's beautiful and it plays very well, straight out of the factory. as I said before, always stretch your strings. Get a new guitar, stretch them, tune it, stretch them again, tune it again. Do that like 10 times in a row. And then you might be in tune. And then you can ask, why won't my guitar stay in tune? And I will also give you some tips this evening on how to make your guitar stay in tune better. Tip number 1, as I said, stretch your strings. And as you see, what I'm doing right now is I'm bending the strings in all kinds of different places and checking the tuning, seeing how much tuning stability I have. And I keep tuning up to the note and then bending it. Some exaggerated bends all over the place, and once again, I tune up to the note. This is like the 4th time I've done this now, as you see. That's why I wasn't exaggerating when I said do this like 10 times in a row. And then your guitar will stay in tune much better. So that was all in the middle position, except that last note. Well, as I said before, and I'm going to say it again, I am very convinced of the quality of this guitar. I paid €160 for it, 166 euro, excuse me. And this is well beyond the quality standards of what I would have expected for that amount of money. So right now, we're gonna do a little bit of a setup, starting with the height of the saddles here. I got this handy dandy bag of Allen keys to see which one fits. Because this being a B stock, I don't have any Allen keys included with this guitar. Normally, Harley Bentons do include all kinds of adjustment things. Okay, I'm looking for an Allen key, but I actually need a Phillips head screwdriver. Actually, you know what? I'm high. Obviously. Because I do need a Phillips head screwdriver, but I also need one of these handy dandy Allen keys. Yeah, that would have been too good to be true. First try. So. Searching for the proper tools. By George, I've got it. So. What I'm gonna do here is just lower these saddles by a few turns. And by doing that, hopefully, I'll just lower the action and the guitar will be more playable without buzzing. That was 2 whole turns, of course. So that was 2 whole turns. I want to turn it again. So 2 whole turns was actually a massive difference, but it looks like I still have some leeway. One turn. And you also have to check, you don't have to, but I like to check that the saddle is also relatively flat. So, if it's tuned down all the way to D, then it looks like I have some buzz. Yeah, it buzzes a little. So it looks like I got a half a turn in the other direction to raise the saddle. Don't forget to turn it on both sides. Always tune down half a step below and then go upward. Okay, so I lowered the saddle more than a millimeter, that's for sure. Let's see how this action is looking. I got a handy dandy Fritz ruler to check the action. looks like we now have the action in a very low spot on the 6th string. But there's still leeway. So. Now I'm going to check the intonation string by string also. So I'm just going string by string with this setup. First of all, the action. And then the intonation. Intonation is also it's never a perfect thing, but it's different from player to player as well. Because if you press harder, you know, as your playing style is, if it's naturally a style where you press harder, then your notes as you press are going to be naturally a little higher, sharper. So if you're setting up, what's good, Lucas? Thank you for following. I'll definitely follow you back. So as I was saying, this the intonation is it's really important that you adjust it to the player and not just make it like, okay, this is now a perfect E, and now this is the perfect octave of an E, because I also play differently depending on the situation. Like if I'm relaxed at home, you know, just chilling on the couch, then I play very light-handedly. But if I'm all excited playing in front of people and, you know, the moment hits me and I get those notes, then I'm naturally going to press a little harder and maybe even like play a little sharp or whatever. So that's why some people have like a guitar for live situations and a guitar just to practice on. It's set up differently even. But for my fingers, this E is too high. Actually, that's all right. Let's move on. Next string. Now, this A string is also, as I said, all the strings are massively high saddles. So good, really good job on the quality control John, that's the only complaint that I have about that is that the saddles are extremely high. Two turns. Two turns on the other side. And that brought us down pretty low. All the way down to F almost. Okay, there's a light buzz there, so I'm gonna go up another tick. So say a half turn, back up. Can't seem to find the hole. It would help if I grabbed the right Allen key. So anyway, half a turn to the right. There we go. So, the intonation of the A is a little off. So the fretted 12th fret is a lot higher than an A. So what we're going to do, we're going to lengthen this string. So that the middle of the string is longer. As I said, with a Phillips head. A smaller Phillips head. Hopefully this is the one. Oh yeah, it fits. Tune it back up to A. Now, oh, almost. We're gonna need one more turn. So even though we tune back up to A, even though we already stretched the strings, we still gotta stretch them out even more. So there we go. We got an A. And there we got an A too. So next string. Lower the saddle. One and a half turns to the left. And I'm still tuning up, and I'm still losing tuning stability. A little too buzzy for my tastes. So I'm gonna have to eventually, as soon as I restring this guitar, I'm gonna see if I have to adjust the truss rod. That might be a situation, but doesn't look like it. The G string is on point. That used to mean something else. One and a half turns. So this one is lower than the average bear, which means we have to turn it in the other direction. But first, we fix the action. One and a half turns. Which brings that B down to a A. So the height is not bad. Last string, y'all. Yep, so the E string has to go in the other direction, which means the E string has to be, the high E has to be shorter than it is. And just like tuning the string, I like to move it down a little bit and then move it up just a tick. And it's intonated. So this is the Harley Benton TE90 QM in trans red. All right, y'all. I don't know about you, but I think it sounds really well, really nice. I know it looks beautiful. It plays very beautifully. It took me now about 40 minutes to set it up, maybe 45 minutes, to set up the action so that it plays nicely. I mean, it played nicely straight from the factory, don't get me wrong. But there's always room for improvement, and I tell you what, though, on this guitar, there is very little room. I'm gonna do some mods on it, like put new tuners on it, some new string trees. But right now, looks like I'm playing with a faulty cable the whole time. I'm just really curious as to why my wireless system isn't working. Uh-huh. Wonderful. Now we got wireless. So the action's really low now. I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but to me, that looks pretty beautiful. So it might be a little spongy for like metal tones. But I mean, these are P90s. Well, my final opinion. As I was saying, my final opinion is this guitar is amazing for that price. The full price is like 199 euro. I paid 166 because I got a B stock. The only little mistake or anything that I could complain about that looks like a factory mistake is like some mist that's on the underneath the clear coat on the back. Other than that, there's absolutely no reason to send this guitar back. So big up to John for the quality control. Big up to Toman for making these amazing instruments for such little amount of money. It's really unbelievable. I keep questioning like how y'all do it, but really, I don't need to know. Just keep doing it. Y'all rock. This guitar rocks. I really like it a lot. As I said in the beginning, the guitar, the volume and the tone knobs are a little tight, which is okay. So, how about I play another DJ Chemo joint before I get out of here? This next one yeah, this next song is called The Best Me. It would be best if I put the strap back on. Check, check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. As I said, this next one is called The Best Me. Every time I fall, never been one to accept defeat. If I can't walk, then I'll crawl. There were times I've wanted to end it all. Instead, I chose to fly.
Best me.
voices in my head are scaring me. I think it's time for some therapy. It's taking a breakdown of 3 for me to even believe what I see. I'm not talking about with my physical eyes. There are some things that can only be realized through pain, suffering, losing it all, hitting rock bottom, running into a wall. But suddenly, my reflection's looking right at me, and I finally see who I wanna be. That's when you showed up and completed me. Now I only wanna be a better me. That was the best me, and this has been the unboxing and test and setup of this Harley Benton TE90 QM in trans red. I really like this guitar. So as I said, I'm not sponsored by Harley Benton or Toman, but yo, fellas, if you want to send some free shit my way, please feel free to do so. I'm gonna tag y'all, and hopefully you got maybe some stuff laying around that you want to get rid of. So anyway, I am DJ Chemo, and I want to play another song. Yeah, this next one is called Death is at My Door. Fucking bomb you, and if you don't agree with what we do, then you're an anti-Semite too. And where evil lies is misconstrued, yet somehow things are blatant too. But power makes you look the other way. When you complain about your pain, then you should know they won't help you. To them you mean nothing, because politicians will say the fault is yours. Now everyone feels some of the effects of this war, but remember, where their bombs drop, they always feel it more. Feel like death is knocking at my door, and there's no hope at all. Things are darker than they've ever been before. I'm just waiting for that final curtain call. So that was Death Is At My Door. I am DJ Chemo, and I'm out of here. Love y'all. Thanks for showing up. I'll be live once again tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Eastern. It's midnight in Central Europe, 11 p.m. in the UK. So, see you then. Until then, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and be nice to your neighbor. I love y'all. I'm DJ Chemo, and I'm out of here. Peace!